Hey gamers, Don and Nico here. Today we're taking a first impressions look at Kitaria Fables, which is an upcoming action-adventure RPG.
Releases on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Series S and X, Nintendo Switch, and PC on September 2nd, 2021 in both digital and physical formats.
After an arduous battle, the monsters were defeated, and the mysterious power subsided.
You can play Kitaria Fables from start to finish in local co-op with up to one other player. However, it somehow feels like the game wasn't structured around two players.
And by that, it's as if the second player is a ghost. The second player can't really talk to main characters, or is referenced in any shape or fashion.
They can't turn in quests.
Yeah, you're kind of just there, existing. Which, I mean, maybe that's okay for some people, but it feels a bit hollow, as if the second player wasn't really intended to be a part of a story.
Combat is pretty par of the course as far as the genre goes. You can strike with your weapon, you can cast spells, and you can dodge. You also have a stamina bar, making it so that you can't dodge all willy-nilly.
Combat mostly takes place in the overworld, and there are some dungeons sprinkled throughout. Classic having to go through, make sure all the rooms are cleared before you can proceed. However, if you go back after beating the boss, sometimes enemies respawn, which can be kind of a hassle if you're trying to, go back and get some loot.
If you're like Nico and I, and the farming elements are what made you interested in the game in the first place, then know that they're not quite as engaging as, say, Stardew Valley, but they get the job done. At this point, we're about 3-4 hours in, and there's maybe 12 types of seeds to plant. It also only takes 2-3 days per seed, so it doesn't feel like you necessarily need to labor in the fields for the long haul.
In the beginning, you're sharing items, so, if somebody logs out with a watering can or a shovel, you're kind of, SOL until that person comes back, or you buy your own. There's a day and night cycle, however, unlike traditional farming games, you don't have to sleep unless you want to restore your health, or you want to save your game.
Whether you're player 1 or player 2, you can customize your character. At first you only have skins available, which means your cat can have different fur styles, but eventually you unlock other things like accessories.
In addition to accessories, you can also craft weapons, armors, and consumables.
As far as weapons go, we've only seen swords and bows, so I'm hoping that'll flesh out more as we continue to progress. Now, I'd love to be able to say that weapons and other equipment are actually represented on your character, but thus far we haven't been able to craft anything.
As far as gathering resources, that's going to be tough to do because there are very specific locations where resources can be collected, and there could be days in between when you can actually find them.
There are no experience points from battle, so upgrading your equipment is really the only way you can actually progress. I'm hoping that the developers will change something before release date because this was the weakest part of our first impressions. Kitaria Fables is a title to keep your eye on, gamers, but it is not without its flaws. Keep an eye here on NeedtoKnow for a review closer to release date.
We've been Don and Nico. Stay in the know, gamers.